Right now, after a blast of snow rolls through, now the temperatures plummet. How tomorrow looks and why you should probably just stay home.
Plus, many people had no choice but to be out on the roads today. Many ended up sliding off them with tow operations actually now being halted in some areas.
And many students couldn't leave the UW-Madison campus either for exams or due to weather. How they're coping on a campus described as a ghost town tonight. That's all coming up right now at 10. Thank you for joining us tonight. If you have been outside over the past few hours, you know it is nasty out there.
Yeah, bitter cold, the wind. It'll stick around now for several days into the Christmas holiday weekend. And tonight, we're already starting to see some of that blowing snow over the roadways. The State Department of Transportation has said multiple times, stay off those roads unless it is absolutely necessary. And the impact being felt all across the Midwest. More than 2,000 customers were affected by power outages tonight. This is in the Kansas City area after cold weather caused a transformer to explode. Right there, you see it. This video posted online by the Liberty Police Department showing the sparks flying nearby buildings, then being plunged into the darkness.
And that is the kind of cold coming our way. Here's Julian Seawright with our certified most accurate forecast.
And that's kind of the reason why I'm inside for right now. Typically, we're outdoors for our weather patio first shots, but things are getting rather cold. As we see for the wind chills, 32 degrees below zero. Standing outside between 10 to 15 minutes with this kind of weather, yes, you can get frostbite within that timeline. It's rather quick, especially as these temperatures continue to fall as we go into the overnights. The thing is, though, winds are still not that strong. It's rather windy in terms of gusts into the upper 20s here in Madison, but we're still looking at the lower 30s between Watertown, Waukesha, and Milwaukee. But overnight, we're looking for those to strengthen even more and be sustained once we get into the rest of the week. Now, winter storm alert day from tonight's going into Saturday. Here's a bit of our change up for us. Now we're looking at blowing snow. Not going to be expecting any more accumulating snow throughout southern Wisconsin. Strong winds, near blizzard conditions with the blowing snow mixing in and lowering visibility is going to be one of the biggest honestly hazards and one of the things we're watching for the next couple of days, especially going into tomorrow when those winds will really intensify. Power outages are possible, so make sure you're doing everything that you can around your home to make sure that you will have heat and power, and on top of it, keeping sure of elderly and small children, and especially your friendly furry friends, safe throughout this winter time. Now, dangerous wind chills, as you already saw, are starting to plague much of southern Wisconsin. We're already lower than 30 degrees below zero as of right now. And for the winter storm warning, those are going to be in effect for all of southern Wisconsin until 6 a.m. Saturday. The blizzard warnings for Juneau and Adams County will be in effect for the same time as well for our friends into southern Minnesota and for eastern Iowa. Here's a quick look at snowfall reports. We're not going to be looking at any more snowfall for us, but from this snow, and it's not Friday snow, but from this last snow that we got from today, from here at the studio, we got about 5 inches, one at Janesville, one for Jefferson. Madison saw close to 4 inches, and Dodgeville saw about 5. But we'll be breaking down what else we can expect with the coming winds and cold temperatures in a few moments. Until then, back to you guys.
Julian, thank you. In an update this afternoon, Madison Streets Division says they will begin plowing all city streets at midnight tonight, but they're not declaring a snow emergency. Instead, people are being asked to find off-street parking to allow crews to better clear those roads.
Road conditions have been so bad in parts of our viewing area, some counties have issued towing bans now until conditions improve. In Grant and Iowa counties, if your vehicle goes off the road in the next day or two, you simply may have to be prepared to just leave it behind. According to the DOT, all across the state, those traffic incidents have doubled, even tripled since this morning.
And along with the 60 plow trucks on the road in the county, towing fleets have been running around the clock. And as tow truck drivers told our Arman Rahman, it's just the beginning.
Yeah, that's right, Eric and Charlotte. The latest numbers from the State Patrol this evening are 143 drivers who needed assistance, 87 vehicle runoffs, and 75 crashes, with 1 fatal since 7 a.m. today. And many of those cars are the first ones towing services like Liberty Towing responded to.
It's the start of a long weekend, I believe.
But it's already a chaotic start for Liberty Towing's 18-truck fleet today.
We're over 100 calls today. I have no idea how many we've done off the top. We're still out running them.
Owner Rod Timmerman's crew is seeing the same messy driving as the rest of the state, with the DOT reporting dozens of crashes, hundreds of drivers needing assistance, and more than 70 runoffs by this afternoon.
A lot of slide-offs. There's been a lot of slide-offs. There's been a lot of people losing control on icy roads, hitting guardrails. and that kind of smashing up kind of stuff, hitting each other, jackknife semis.
Dane County highway officials say conditions are the worst on snow-covered, outlying, and country roads. At the same time, those are the ones plows are focusing less on to maintain the Beltline, interstate, and major roads around the clock. The Liberty Towing Crew is prioritizing its calls, too.
Prioritize the ones of the people that are stranded, the ones that, may freeze, hypothermia, that kind of stuff out there. So we want to get to those people as fast as we possibly can.
It's a battle between coming to the rescue and making sure they won't need rescuing.
We are driving in the exact same conditions as all the people on the road. We've had some of our own equipment freezing up today, and the air systems in these trucks are freezing up, and diesels have been gelling up.
But Timmerman says he won't be surprised if the conditions start becoming unsafe for tow trucks too, resulting in more tow bans.
And I truly believe that Dane County has done that in the past, and I could see it coming again.
And just like plow drivers, the tow truck drivers emphasize the same thing. When you see them out working, slow down, move over if you can, and don't be the next accident they respond to.
The storm is causing concerns about getting gas and propane where they need to go, and that's why Governor Evers declared an energy emergency today. With the bad road conditions, there's concern the drivers transporting fuel around the state may reach the limit of their driving hours stuck on the highways. That's why the governor lifted some of those driving limits to keep fuel moving during the storm.
And as you'll see here in this video from the Beltline today, a series of plow trucks all working together, clearing the highway there in one continuous line. And if possible, we all would rather just stay home and stay indoors in these cold temperatures, but not everyone has that luxury. Some have to be out there working to keep the rest of us safe.
In the case of one plow driver in Prairie du Sac, he's made some adjustments to help his team out during today's busy workday. Our Catherine Merck took a ride along with him to show what it's like behind the wheel.
Here in Prairie du Sac, it's all hands on deck. They have all their plows and all their crews out on the streets, making sure the roads are clear for people like you. But for these crews, it means making some sacrifices. For one of these drivers, his special day took a little bit of a detour with this winter storm. These snowplow crews know that winter storm days mean lots of time thinking about clearing the roads.
Obviously, it's a snow emergency or a storm emergency. It's however long it takes. That could be 12 hours, it could be a couple hours.
For Dylan Shaker, that means a lot less time thinking about himself.
Today is my birthday. The boss called me last night and asked if I could come in. Absolutely. I don't want to leave the crew or my teammates out to dry, so if they're gonna work, I'm gonna work.
These drivers are pretty patient and professional.
The Director of Public Works and Utilities says this is just the beginning of long days for plow crews. High winds and cold temperatures are making the usual strategies to get the snow off the roads more difficult.
Even this truck here, full of salt, these roads with it froze down the way it is, that truck can slide all over.
The truck can kind of slide through intersections at times if you're not careful.
On the day he's celebrating his 29th year, Dylan's spending lots of time thinking about the best parts of the job.
Growing up as a kid, you always wanted to play with big trucks, and now I get to do it every day, so it's pretty fun.
He's still mostly thinking about the parts that don't involve himself.
I'm very fortunate to have the crew that I do and get to work with them.
This isn't the end of this winter storm. Crews in Prairie du Sac are planning to continue to be out on the roads through the weather alert day that we have in our forecast until Saturday morning. Make sure to stick with us on our social media pages and on our website at channel3000.com for the latest forecast. Reporting in Prairie du Sac, I'm Catherine Merck for News 3 Now.
And today, we also took a ride along with a Verona police officer to get a look at how they respond to incidents in this type of weather. To watch that story, head on over to channel3000.com.
City of Madison leaders today say they are making additional accommodations for those experiencing homelessness during the storm. They say the Salvation Army has bunk beds to accommodate more people. Porchlight has cots they can bring out, and there is funding available to cover hotel stays during extreme weather events like this one. In Rock County, a number of warming centers and overnight shelters are preparing to open open, as temperatures are expected to dip well below zero in the next couple of days. So far, most of the available locations are for daytime use only. County officials say they are in the process of evaluating the availability of overnight shelters, and we have a full list of those locations at channel3000.com.
SSM Health Dean Medical Group has closed its urgent care locations in Madison and Janesville. It started tonight at 7 o'clock because of the weather. In a news release tonight, SSM says it encourages patients with non-emergency medical needs to use their express virtual care options. And UW Health tonight says its hospitals and clinics will be operating and seeing patients tomorrow. A spokesperson there says they worked to convert in-person appointments on Friday to telehealth visits where possible. They say clinics that have rescheduled all visits to be telehealth will operate virtually but will not be open for in-person visits tomorrow.
A scheduling note from the UW Athletic Department, which is canceling tomorrow night's men's basketball game. The Badgers were slated to take on Grambling State at the Kohl Center, now called off due to the weather. The athletic department says that game will not be rescheduled. For the few who remain on campus, they're calling it a ghost town, yet due to some student jobs, some late finals, a handful of students are stuck on campus until the weather lets up. Our Nicole Herzog caught up with some of them today.
Just trying to get home whenever I can.
It's a similar struggle for the few students still on UW's campus.
Probably the worst weather at the time when we also drive home, yeah.
With campus still open, final exams and on-campus jobs are operating as normal.
We're just doing what the university wants us to do at the moment, and we're waiting to see if anything changes.
But for students who had exams last night and today, road conditions are making it a challenge to get back home. And those with campus jobs are still expected to work.
Yeah, we have to stick around until I guess the chancellor closes stuff.
For now, the university hasn't announced any plans to shut down campus this week. They told students they could stay through the storm, but would have to find their own meals. And some students are worried that with more snow coming, conditions could be too dangerous.
I think it would be in the interest of everybody's safety to probably just shut everything down tomorrow at least.
They're hopeful they'll be able to make it home for the holidays. Right now, they say they're waiting for the first opportunity to get on the road.
Yeah, there's not really much people here. It's a little lonely, but we'll get home soon, hopefully.
In Madison, I'm Nicole Herzog for News 3 Now.
The last time campus closed for heavy snow was in 2012, but the university told us this week that wouldn't be possible to cancel exams for today.
Students are encouraged to contact professors directly with their concerns. For our comprehensive coverage of this storm, we have a dedicated page on our website where you can check out all of our reporting and get your latest weather updates. It can all be found on channel3000.com. Still ahead tonight, your updated forecast for the holiday weekend.
Plus, it's not just Wisconsin hit by this storm. We'll take a look at how the rest of the country is handling it when we come back.
Todd and Sarah are in love, but this isn't your classic rom-com. It's a Nissan event ad. Don't let true love or these offers get away.
Make no payments until March 2023 on select vehicles.
Wisconsin, one of those places where families spend their winters among our frozen lakes and snow-covered hills. With all the fun we're having, it's easy to take for granted how we warm up, by the fire or simply adjusting our thermostat. But what if you couldn't warm up so easily? It might be simple to imagine for 60 seconds, but for many, it's a reality they can't ignore. Working families, elderly, disabled, and veterans struggling to keep their heat and power on in the dangerous cold of winter. Freezing temperatures aren't just uncomfortable for them, they can be deadly. Make a real difference by providing a hand up for a neighbor in need. No matter the amount, every dollar helps. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy, water, and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safe in your home. No one deserves to suffer when we can help each other.
This holiday season at the Century House, give $50 or more to charity and get $200 off any stressless recliner with power, any stressless recliner and ottoman, or any stressless office chair. Or get $200 off each stressless sofa seat or $400 off all stressless Mayfair recliners and ottomans in all Paloma leather colors. Shop the Century House, 3420 University Avenue in Madison.
I became an orthopedic surgeon for a lot of reasons.
For a lot of reasons.
For a lot of reasons.
To help you take walks again. to ease your pain,
to rebuild your strength.
And at every step along the way,
we take the time to answer all your questions.
We're here because we care.
We care about you.
you.
They care about me.
Sauk Prairie Healthcare Orthopedics, now offering robotic-assisted knee replacement.
Todd and Sarah are in love, but this isn't your classic rom-com. It's a Nissan event ad. Don't let true love or these offers get away.
Get $500 loyalty cash on Pathfinder or Rogue.
On the Jennifer Hudson Show, LL Cool J is in the house.
I can tell what year it is by my jewelry. I know the chains got a little bigger and all that.
And Tony Award winner Michael R. Jackson is here.
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3.
You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Welcome back. Congress is one step closer to averting a government shutdown. Today, the Senate voted to pass a $1.7 trillion government spending bill. It now heads to the House for a vote. Lawmakers are hoping the House will pass it, and President Biden will sign it before government funding expires tomorrow. New tonight, a single-engine plane made an emergency landing on Santa Monica Beach in California, just south of the iconic Santa Monica Pier. According to the LA County Fire Department, there were 2 people trapped in this plane. The crews got them out, but their conditions are currently unknown. That plane found upside down, as you see there on the shoreline. It had departed out of Santa Monica Airport.
Forecasters say the historic winter storm sweeping across the U.S. will cause widespread disruptions heading into Christmas weekend. Today alone, more than 2,000 flights were canceled and close to 7,000 delayed, with those numbers expected to climb. Bradley Blackburn reports.
Dangerous and threatening.
With a weather map by his side, President Biden urged Americans to take warnings about the massive winter storm seriously. Forecasters are calling the weather system bringing whiteout conditions and sub-zero temperatures a once-in-a-generation storm.
If you get above 40 miles an hour, you start sliding around.
The Arctic blast includes wind chill warnings from the northwest as far as the Gulf Coast and into the eastern seaboard. It's already taking a toll on holiday travel. In Chicago, Alicia Mitchell spent the day trying to get home to Los Angeles. One flight was canceled and another delayed.
It's not looking good right now, but we're hopeful.
Amid snow squall warnings, Denver International Airport saw hundreds of flights canceled Thursday, according to FlightAware.
We're trying to get there, and 2 flights are canceled so far with Southwest. I just got a flight for tonight, but I don't even know if that's looking very likely.
And in Palm Beach, Florida, travelers tried to head north, despite the forbidding forecasts.
I should have packed more jackets and stuff. We're freezing.
I'm definitely not a fan of the code.
This couple is going to their grandson's bar mitzvah.
Just being with the family makes you warm.
That's her point of view. My point of view is that I'm going to freeze my butt off up there.
By Thursday afternoon, more than 200 million Americans were under some form of winter weather warning or advisory, with Christmas just days away. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
According to the National Weather Service, there is a potential for power outages from the expected high winds, heavy snows, significant icing, and increased power consumption in storm-pummeled areas.
All right, let's go to Julian Seawright as we get a more complete look at what we can expect. Our first warn forecast. Julian?
Well, the thing is now we're just going to watch at how things develop. With the winds increasing, the temperatures continue to drop. Now, we have mentioned it all week, but here's a breakdown of what we've been talking about, especially for today. We've talked about what a blizzard really is, because a lot of people have the stigma or this idea that a blizzard in itself is not just ice cream from DQ, but something where it's a big snow event. That's not necessarily what it is. What it is when we have sustained winds of 35 miles per hour and mixing in with falling or blowing snow that visibility lessens than a quarter of a mile, and these conditions have to be sustained through at least 3 hours or more. And on top of that, we have to really just, in order to stay safe from it, staying home and traveling is going to be extremely difficult and really something that we never recommend during a blizzard, because it also could be impossible and even life-threatening. But that's really what a blizzard is. So with the small amounts of snow that we have on the ground and that we've accumulated, we add in those winds that will be sustained throughout that time period, and blowing and lowering our visibility is why we're watching for potentials of seeing blizzard-like conditions over the next day, and especially going into our Christmas Eve. Dangerous wind chills and strong winds are going to be be the headlines now. We're no longer looking at accumulating snowfall, but blowing snow is going to be an issue for the next couple of days. It was powder, not heavy wet snow, so we couldn't see once those winds start to really pick up some blowing snow going in throughout the next couple of days. Power outages are also possible with these strong winds. There's some things to also monitor and also to just be careful with when you're around the house, and make sure you have multiple ways to keep yourself warm as temperatures are going to be dangerously cold. Now, a look at our winter weather bulletins. We do have a winter storm warning in effect for all of southern Wisconsin until 6 a.m. and the blizzard warnings for Juneau and Adams County and areas to the northwest until 6 a.m. Saturday morning as well. So they're all looking to expire around the same time. If you're wondering if that system is still impacting eastern Wisconsin, well, it's not. The snow has moved its way across Lake Michigan. Now we're just dealing with some light flurries and whatever the wind is picking up. Heading into Friday morning, you can see those winds will really intensify overnight. Temperatures are not going to see any improvement until we get into our Friday evening. So this is why we're really saying stay indoors, because temperatures are going to be not just cold, but with the winds right behind it. We're looking at wind chill values that will be very dangerous to you, especially if you're exposed for an X amount of time. This could be from 10 to even 15 minutes for some people. Might see a couple of spurts of showers, mainly to the northeast. Not looking for more accumulating snow, however. And then once we get into our Christmas Eve morning, things are still going to be rather cold and the winds are still going to be strong. So here's a look at how those winds are going to be matching up for the upper Midwest in itself. Tomorrow evening, we're still going to be looking at around 40 miles per hour gusting winds being sustained throughout the entirety of Friday and even for Saturday morning. It'll start to taper off just a bit once we get into Christmas Day, but even still, we're looking at wind speeds around 30 miles per hour gusting starting off for Christmas morning. So it's still going to be a white Christmas, but it's also going to be a cold and not very favorable one. You don't want to go outside. If you got any toys for the outdoors, may want to wait until next week. Now, wind chill values will be dropping into the lower 20s, but we'll start to see improvements once we get into next week. Lower 30s and near 40-degree temperatures will drop into our wind chills, or what we're also going to be watching for. But again, outdoors can have to wait until next week. Tuesday will be a lot more favorable for us here in southern Wisconsin, and then we are going to be ringing in the new year with 40-degree temperatures, at least as long as this forecast holds up for us. Could see a couple of shower opportunities, but overall not going to be looking at anything of a mess like we are for this weekend.
And coming up in sports, Bobby April is heading west. The new role the former Badger outside linebackers coach will tackle in California. That's next on News 3 Now.
3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
With Pick and Save delivery, it's easy to get your special holiday foods brought right to your door. And that's music to your ears. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
The holidays are for making memories, and you can count on Honda to help you make them. Whether it's in a capable Ridgeline, adventurous CRV, a rugged Passport, or a dynamic Pilot. Start making memories of your own with a new Honda during Happy Honda Days. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
Wow, this is where you work now?
Figured I deserved a more inspiring space. And with home values being up, I had a lot of equity. So I got a home equity line of credit from Summit, and voila, added a home office.
Took your business to the next level.
Hey, you two have been in your place for a couple years now. Any fun plans?
Well, we just finished a refi with Summit.
Really?
And the plan is to make a bunch of great memories.
We're gonna use the savings to get a camper.
Whatever your goals, Summit Credit Union can help you use your home's equity to go get them.
Wisconsin, one of those places where families spend their winters among our frozen lakes and snow-covered hills. With all the fun we're having, it's easy to take for granted how we warm up, by the fire or simply adjusting our thermostat. But what if you couldn't warm up so easily? It might be simple to imagine for 60 seconds, but for many, it's a reality they can't ignore. Working families, elderly, disabled, and veterans struggling to keep their heat and power on in the dangerous cold of winter. Freezing temperatures aren't just uncomfortable for them, they can be deadly. Make a real difference by providing a hand up for a neighbor in need. No matter the amount, every dollar helps. If you or someone you know needs a hand up, our energy, water, and emergency rental assistance providers are working together to keep you safe in your home. No one deserves to suffer when we can help each other.
Hi, I'm Gary Canulti, inviting you on a holiday vacations tour. Join me May 2nd through the 12th as we tour Scotland and Northern Ireland. This trip is rich with history, exploring places like the Edinburgh Castle and the Titanic Belfast Museum. We'll also enjoy the gorgeous scenery and friendly people of these two unique countries. Visit holidayvacations.com, keyword WISC, for more information and to watch a travel show. Or call 888-557-1020 for a free brochure. Visit holidayvacations.com, keyword WISC, for more information.
Keep your holidays in sync with free pickup on all your fresh favorites from Pick and Save. Pick and Save, fresh for everyone.
When you think of wrestling coaches, you think of an intense, loud person that's always moving. Not really the case for Mineral Point's Curtis Fiedler. He stays true to himself on the mat and asks his pointers to do the same. Mineral Point Wrestling,
we want to dominate our opponents.
Here we go, ready?
Has a long history of success.
Yeah, winning makes a lot of things fun.
And all this group wants is to keep it rolling.
Keep the tradition going and keep doing what Mineral Point does best.
To do that, they're following the lead of Curtis Fiedler.
I go against a lot of what wrestling coaches are. Hey, happening. I'm feeling glad I got sunshine.
A man who's not your traditional wrestling coach.
It definitely does add to the team because there's joking around sometimes. He likes to enlighten the mood of a bunch of us, so he's fun to be around.
And that calm, cool demeanor is a reminder to his team to be themselves.
Just to tell me that be yourself out there, wrestle how you would always wrestle, and just wrestle as hard as you can, and that's all you can ask for.
Or as Fiedler likes to say,
okay, now stop.
You be you.
I don't want robots in there. Yes, I want hard workers. Yes, I want intense guys and girls that are going to work their tail off and do what's expected of them. But, you know, show off your personality a bit. Flash a smile.
Because when you're true to yourself,
I don't want them to be anyone else. I want them to be themselves, because when they're themselves, they're unstoppable.
It's hard to take you down.
That away, fellas. That away, fellas.
And don't forget to nominate your coach to be our next Coach of the Week. Just head to the sports page on our website and fill out the nomination form, or you can send me an email describing how your coach goes above and beyond for his athletes. After 5 seasons leading the Badger outside linebackers, Bobby April is leaving Madison to run the Cardinal defense. Stanford officially named April their new defensive coordinator today. Under his tutelage, Zach Bond and Nick Herbig earned All-American status, and Andrew Van Ginkel became an NFL draft pick. We're back after this.
Happy holidays from our Dwellings family to yours.
Happy holidays.
Start the new year off right during the final days of the Ford Shine Bright sales event. Don't miss your chance to choose from a great selection of new Ford vehicles in stock and ready for delivery. Or place a custom order, lock in your rate, and you're protected. Plus, new inventory is still arriving daily, so you could drive one home today. Now, get an F-150 with 2.9% financing for 60 months and $500 retail bonus cash plus $500 accessories cash.
Since offices started in the 80s, we've been cheering on the true champions of Milwaukee, you and yours. We've helped thousands of injured victims get the compensation they deserve, celebrated our sports teams through ups and downs, and connected in the community by working together to make things better. We've been on this path together for 35 plus years. Our slogan says it all. Let's keep rising together.
Need life insurance? SelectQuote found Jacob, 40, a $500,000 policy for only $19 a month. And SelectQuote found his wife Wendy, a $500,000 policy for only $17 a month.
Our secret? At SelectQuote, we aggressively comparison shop up to 10 highly rated companies to find you the company with the best rates. Why pay more? Give your family the security they need at a price you can afford. SelectQuote. We shop, you save.
He has his grandfather's smile.
Her mother's eyes.
My cheekbones.
But will she have my diabetes?
My sickle cell anemia.
His father's heart disease?
Go to joinallofus.org to share your health information and speed up health research breakthroughs. The future of health begins with you.
Sometimes a cough isn't just a cough, so it's better to be prepared. Keeping Binax Now handy makes it easy to test. And self-test kits may be reimbursable with no copay through your health plan. With Binax Now, you'll have reliable results in 15 minutes with the self-test that features the same technology doctors use and detects multiple variants, including Omicron BA.5. So you can always be prepared with Binax Now, the #1 COVID-19 self-test in the U.S.
Welcome to Dwellings.
Shop our fabulous showroom, Hard Rock Road, Fitchburg.
Call for action only on News 3 Now. You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Finally tonight, check it out. Crews out removing hazardous icicles. This was above Interstate 5 in Seattle today. 3 lanes of the interstate were shut down this morning to clear those hazards from the roof of the Convention Center tunnel ceiling in Seattle. They have since reopened, but just one of the many challenges that this storm is creating really all across the country. For more on it, let's go to Julie and a final look at the forecast.
Well, things are going to be cold. Even like that, we could see some icicles on some areas. So definitely be careful, not just of the icicles, but definitely of these temperatures as well. Just stay home tomorrow. That's going to be my recommendation, especially as temperatures will warm up late to 2 degrees. Outside of that, it's going to be below 0. Wind chill values will be close to 30 degrees below 0. So make sure that you're staying safe heading into the weekend.
You'll tell our boss you told us to stay home?
Yeah, I'll try.
Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10.
Do something good, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.